So this video is for all Masters Commission Sacramento alumni, anybody that has been a part of this program, whether staff or student or even extended family members, from home openers to parents or siblings of anybody that's been a part of this program in the last 15 years. We're excited about some things that are going on, some changes that are being made, but also want to make sure that you're communicated to quickly and adequately so that you can understand the heart of what we're doing and why we're doing it before it gets out into the cyberspace, I suppose, and you hear word of mouth or from the grapevine. We wanted you to hear from us. Myself, being Cole, the current director of Masters Sacramento, and then also Pastor Jason, who, as we all know, founded and started this program, and even since has been very involved in mentoring and even coaching me through the last years. And so I asked him to come and just kind of share, and he also knows a lot of the changes and why they're going on. And so I've asked him to come and share his heart, and we'll, looking forward to communicating to you what's going on and the heart of what's behind it. So
I think the key to talk to and to speak to today is to really communicate crystal and clear information, because without that, there's disinformation. And I've heard it said before that what people aren't up on, they become down on. Yeah. And so if we don't take the time right now to speak specifically to the greatness that is happening here in Sacramento, people could hear something and think that it's not happening or the program's no longer. And that's not the reality. The reality is there are some incredible changes that we wanted to be the first to communicate to you, where Masters Commission Sacramento is taking a refined approach to organically growing here locally out of our typical landscape of Sacramento and Northern California. I think what's so great about Cole and his vision is that he understands that any type of movement that does not morph over time will become nothing more than a monument. And so many programs, so many youth groups, even so many churches, even individually, so many individuals as people, they become stagnant because they don't allow God to morph them over time. And that's really what this video is about. It's about talking about the morphing that's taking place right here in Masters Commission Sacramento. Cole, you do realize, or maybe you don't, that the original name was not Masters Commission Sacramento. It's had 3 different names, and now it's going to have a 4th. The first name was actually Capital Masters Commission. Capital Masters Commission, based on the fact that it was here in Sacramento.
It's still that financially.
Exactly. You read that on the budget line items. And the reality is because we are here in the capital city, so why not be Capital Masters Commission? Then after that, we changed it because we thought we wanted a more regional flair. So we called it Sacramento Masters Commission, SMC. This was like years 2 and 3 maybe. And then that fell off to the wayside very quickly. And I believe it was in year 4 or 5 that we adjusted the name that currently stands, which is Masters Commission Sacramento. But the good news now is that there is a youth culture that is being reached right here by our ministry called Oxygen. So what better way than Cole to lead this thing called Oxygen Youth Culture? Yeah. It's just a brilliant branding. It's a brilliant rebranding, I should say, of a great program. The person running the camera and the audio, Cole, your entire youth staff, our children's pastors here, the people who run the Starbucks coffee here, I mean, on and on and on, people who are participating in our worship teams, our outreach teams, our guest services teams. Everybody has had impact by those that are involved with Masters Commission. And I think it was great because off camera you said it so well, that people around this church have had a thumbprint by a person's life. They've home opened, they've had a ministry's been to their family, they've been pastored by someone who's been in Masters Commission. And I think it just reiterates the original vision that continues to stand. And I think what's so important about this to say to you that are alumni or former participants of Masters is to go back into your mind and remember a few things. Remember the original vision and values was to create an environment, to create a space where education and experience collide. That's the sum total of what we're about, education and experience. And Cole and his team are going to continue to do that. So if you're part of one of the 1 through 14 classes, fear not. Your legacy, your lineage lives on. Don't think for a moment that we're not going to continue to provide an atmosphere where people become educated. Don't think for a moment we're not going to continue to provide hands-on and practical ways to get experiential growth. We're going to continue to do that. But we're taking a new look, a new brand into a new direction specifically. Everything that you experience in your program will still remain part of your history, part of your lineage, and part of your legacy. But now we're asking for you to celebrate this next season with us as Cole begins to share some of the subtle but very profound changes that are about to happen.
You know, I think the thing is probably 2-3 years ago, we realized that we needed to get ahead of the curve. Culturally, there was a shift going on. struggles with Master's Commission in general, and just realizing that our focus needed to kind of shift. And it was a really hard thing for me to stomach. It's been something that we've processed. I mean, I'm here at this church because of Masters. My experience under UJ was powerful and significant, and really has shaped my faith in so many ways. And I know there's so many people out there that it's the same thing. And so right off the bat, as we begin to talk about this with Kelly and Blake, it almost made you sick in one sense. And then everything began to hit, just like you've said it, that it's not killing what was, but honoring. And looking back at those 14 years and valuing what took place there. And a lot of things are going to stay the same. We're going to keep the names and the alumni and the classes up in our first-year office. That's not going to change. We want even the students of Oxygen Youth Culture to know they're a part of a program that has been here for a long time. It's not year 1 next year. It's year 15. And the name of the program has changed, but the heart has remained the same, and the focus has. Practically, here's what the changes are going to be. One of the big things that we're going to do is offering 2 different tracks with different schooling options, from a secular option to also a Christian option here at CBC. And that's a big one because it gives students many opportunities once they're finished to pursue a degree or to step right into full-time ministry based on what their calling is. And then the other thing is, as you put it, the understanding of the organic culture going on here and the need to disciple students that we're in the lives of every single day. We've found it such a tragedy to see students that we pour so much time in here at Capitol to then fall away when they go off to college and struggle with their faith. And that happens everywhere. But our goal is to give them and really encourage them to be a part of Oxygen Youth Culture, to really draw those students in. And so it's not that that's going to be our only focus. We're welcoming and looking forward to students from other places as well, but that is going to be, the primary place where we're going to point our laser pointer of attention on the students that we're looking to have come. And our hope is that we stay connected with alumni that have been in this program, and through that connection, we can also then draw students from their churches and from other places across the country. But so I guess really practically those are the changes, the name change.
Rebrand.
The schooling opportunities, expanding what a student can experience academically as well as the discipleship and the things that come along with it. And then thirdly, just we're not going to be out traveling like we have in the past, and as that's been a part of Masters, that's not going to be the part now. I mean, we'll still do the Montana trip. That one is one that we can't kick, but the Montana trip and a missions trip. But other than that, we're going to kind of stay close to home and let the people that are here that God has spoken to be a part of the program. And it's always cool to see a move of God when God has directed. And then as we made this decision, and when we finally made it, it was a hard one to make because of the emotion involved in it for us. But when we finally made it, I mean, it was literally that week that applications began to flood in already for 2012, 2013. And it was almost as if God was saying, you heard from me. This is the direction. This is where I'd like you to go. And it was encouraging to know that, we're doing what we feel to be right. And we're feeling confirmed that this is the right choice and the right path. So
I think it's just one of the things that happens in life. The scriptures even talks about there's a time to build and a time to tear down. This is not a time to tear down. So I want to challenge you to realize that this is a time of just reacclimating to the climate. It's just a simple time of readjusting. And Cole, I think what's so profound, I think what you and Blake, Kelly, I think what Caitlin, you have all done together is you have seen and sensed what's happening in the landscape, the culture, and you said, we're going to be the best versions of ourselves right here. Yeah. I want to challenge you, if you're part of our former classes of 1 through 14, maybe you were under my leadership in classes 1 through 10, or other programs after that, but you're still part of the family. I want to challenge you to be one of our greatest advocates in this transition. I want to challenge you to be a voice of hope, a voice of sustained courage, a voice of continued passion for what it is we're doing. We need you to come and be a part of what we're doing by supporting us. So let your friends know about the great things that are happening here with not only Cole and his leadership at the Oxygen Youth Culture, and continue to brand and continue to polish, continue to look at your MCDQ dog tag. And remember, that's still going to be a part of who we are, what we are, and why we do what we do. And so, Cole, I just want to honor you and thank you for taking the courageous step of moving and morphing to make sure that we don't become a monument. It's too important that we do not want to become a statue. We want to become a movement and continue to be a movement.
That's right. Well, Appreciate the time. Any questions, Facebook us, call up the office. Blake and Kelly are up here, myself, my wife Kate. You know, I know Jay would be open to some questions. Feel free to send them our way. We want to answer every question. We also want to invite everybody to graduation. We are going to be doing an honoring this year at graduation of past classes, even wanting to get some of the alumni involved with it, with the creed that was written, you know, years ago. Kelly's got some great ideas of what she wants to do with that and in a way to get people involved. So very much still family, very much continuing to keep in our hearts where we've been and looking forward to where we're going. So
best is yet to come.
That's right.